All right, Brock, in the last video, we talked about your strengths as a hitter. And in this video, we're going to talk about a couple of things that you can do to build off your strengths. And we're going to start by talking about timing. And I have a couple of swing clips up here of you. And we're actually going to start with some pro hitters first. And the big thing that I want to talk about with timing is it's all predicated on what the pitcher does. Every move that you make as a hitter before you swing has to be in sync with this pitcher. And I'm going to demonstrate what that means really quickly with a couple of pro players. We'll do Chase Utley, and we'll do some guys that have a small stride like you do. It doesn't matter, what type of hitting style you have. All hitters will create a rhythm that's based on what the pitcher's delivery is like. And so let me demonstrate what that looks like with Chase Utley here. All right. And what you're going to notice with all major league hitters is that at this release point right here with the pitcher, see, there's the release point. This is the most important rhythm in hitting because at this point, the hitter has to be ready to stride forward. And you can see here that Chase Utley has lifted his heel off the ground, and he's getting ready to go forward. So if I go backwards, you can see he's in a stance, and as soon as that pitcher's front foot lands, you're going to see Chase Utley lift up his front heel and get ready to go forward. So right at the point of release, you're going to see Chase Utley work forward in his stride and load his hands back, and that's going to help him be on time. Let me give you another example. We'll do Ken Griffey Jr. He's a great hitter, one of the best pure hitters of all time, and you're going to see the same type of thing with Griffey. Let me just pull him up real quick. There he is. And just like Chase Utley, the most important rhythm that Griffey's going to watch for is the release rhythm. And so there's the release point right there, okay? And what you're going to notice, again, just like Chase Utley, that heel's off the ground before he gets to that release point. So if we go back, when the pitcher's front foot hits the ground, right there, Ken Griffey's lifting up his heel on the front foot, right there, and he's getting ready to stride forward. He's preparing himself. He's anticipating. So right there at release, now what you're going to see is Griffey's going to take his stride and load his hands so that he's on time, ready to drive the baseball. Miguel Cabrera is another hitter. Same thing. All these pro hitters, you're going to see the same kind of concept. The only difference is some of the hitters will have different types of pre-swing movements. So Miguel Cabrera, for example, is unlike Griffey because he has a big knee lift. You're going to see it right here. I'll play it through. You're going to see a big knee lift right there, and then he's going to stride forward. But it's the same thing. What he wants to be able to do at this release point right here, he wants to be able to be ready to work forward. And you can see that heel's off the ground, that knee's up, and now at this point, he's going to be able to work forward towards the pitch and load his hands. So that's the important thing, right? Now with that in mind, let's take a look at you on the left-hand side. And what you're going to find out is that you're late. Okay, and let me show you what I mean. Here's me. My front foot hits the ground right there, and you'll notice your feet are flat. Front foot is flat. You're not ready to stride. And as a result, when I get to my release point, which is right there, all right, I'm letting go of the ball right here, your feet are still flat. And then the ball's out of my hand, traveling, and right there, you'll see it right now. I'm going to circle your foot. This is where you finally begin to stride, and it's too late. And as a result, what happens, because you're striding so late, you can see that you're actually stepping in the bucket. You're kind of stepping away from the ball, and it's putting you in a rough position. And a lot of times you're late on the pitch. As you can see right here, look at how your body's kind of leaning back, barely getting a piece of that ball, and that's because you're late. And so what we want to be able to do, again, like our good professional hitters, when the front foot of the pitcher lands on the ground right there, we need to lift this heel and get prepared to stride so that when the ball comes out of the hand right there, we're actually beginning to work forward at this moment, not later. You can see how late you are right there. So that's concept number one, is timing. Concept number two is the actual stride, all right? And so I'm going to finish this video out by talking about the last concept, and we're going to look from a catcher's angle this time. And I want you to notice Miguel Cabrera. When he takes his stride, notice how his nose always stays over his toes. And see how his feet are even with each other? It's huge right there. That's great balance, and he's going to be able to drive the baseball. See how the hands stay back? Let's show you another example. We'll give you David Wright, another great hitter. Watch as he strides. Right there. See how the feet are even with each other? And look at how the nose stays over the toes. All right. Now, if we watch you in your stride, look where your front foot is. Look where your back foot is. And as a result of that, your nose is not over your toes. Instead, it's over the heels. And that's going to make you flat-footed. And you're going to be swinging from your heels a lot. So you can make that adjustment really easily by improving your timing. And then when you work off the tee, just work on stepping straight towards the pitcher.